During 1842, Haymarket Railway Station was opened as the original terminus of the Edinburgh and Glasgow Railway. The station represented the launch of a new age of travelling opportunities to the Scottish capital, being the first intercity route to be built and offering a previously unheard journey time of 2.5 hours between Scotland's two largest cities. Reportedly, early passenger numbers were far in excess of any expectations held during the line's construction, having topped 1 million by 1846. Due to backlash from the Church of Scotland, the early practice of running Sunday trains was suspended. The station building itself featured impressive Doric-style porticos and was often hailed for its impressive architecture and engineering. It served not only a major transport hub for the city, but also as the headquarters for the Edinburgh and Glasgow Railway Company itself. During the 1846, the line was extended through the Haymarket tunnels and Princes Street Gardens to what is known today as Edinburgh Waverley Railway Station. Other railway stations, which had the benefit of being more centrally sited, were also springing up around the city, and some came to overshadow Haymarket Station. Its name had always been just Haymarket as opposed to Edinburgh Haymarket, although the latter designation has been used in timetables by some operating train companies for the purpose of clarity. The connecting line to Slateford, which presently used by services heading towards Glasgow Central Railway Station and the West Coast Main Line, was originally constructed during 1853 by the Caledonian Railway. However, it lay disused for more than a century due to what became a long-running disagreement over running lights with the EGR and its successor companies, the line finally being commissioned during September of 1964 by the nationalised operator British Rail. This measure allowed the closure of the former Caledonian Railway terminus located at Princes Street during the following year. Haymarket TMD, a service and maintenance depot, is located 0.6 of a mile west of the station, on the north side of the railway adjacent to Murrayfield Stadium. By the 1890s, Haymarket had lost some of its original appeal and came to be often subject to criticism over a lack of maintenance and a perpetual climate of austerity. During 1894, covered platforms were added to the station by the railway engineer James Carswell. Reportedly, during the 1960s and 70s, British Rail studied options for several new buildings and other renovations, but ultimately did not want to invest in Haymarket in case it was soon closed. During 1983, British Rail performed some alterations to the station. Haymarket's original train shed was demolished and moved to Bowness, while its footbridge and replaced by a smaller counterpart, and new platform canopies were installed. As a result of the renovations, the station broke new ground as the first purpose-built barrierless station. In 1989, the South Tunnel was electrified by British Rail, while Platform 4 was also extended as part of the East Coast Main Line electrification programme to allow through electric trains from London King's Cross to Glasgow Central and from Waverley Station towards the West Coast Main Line. During 2011, in conjunction with the Airdrie to Bathgate project, the North Tunnel was also electrified. Since 2006, the station has featured 4 through platforms along with a single bay platform sited to the north of the station. As a general operating rule, trains to and from stations across the Forth Bridge tend to use platforms 1 and 2, while those trains running to and from Glasgow and the West Coast Main Line make use of platforms 3 and 4. The bay platform, which is presently designated as Platform 0, was built for services that terminated at Haymarket and has often occurred when major engineering work takes place at the larger Waverley Station. All of the station's platforms are now electrified. Between 1997 and 2012, the annual number of passengers that were recorded to have used the facility had risen by a massive 138%. By 2012, in excess of 2 million passengers used the station each year. According to some projections, passenger numbers at Haymarket are expected to climb as high as 10 million by 2030. The station has been listed as amongst the most congested on the Scottish railway network, which has been attributed to repeated rapid increases in commuters using it and aggravated by lack of modernisation for some time. According to industry publication Rail Engineer, by 2012, Haymarket possessed one of the oldest station buildings and ticket offices in the whole of the United Kingdom. The old facility was small, and the 1980s-era footbridge was relatively narrow, factors which did not lend themselves to the huge expansion in passenger footfall. In part to address this growth, during the 2000 and 2010 period, state-owned rail owner and maintainer Network Rail performed a £24 million upgrade programme at Haymarket Station, as it had been announced during the 2007 business plan. This work was focused on the remodelling of its passenger facilities to better serve growing demand. The installation of passenger lifts and the enabled all platforms to be fully accessed to those who reduced mobility, in accordance to the Disability Discrimination Act, was one major change enacted during 2011. However, perhaps the most extensive modification programme to be made at Haymarket Station to date, which involved the development of the new concourse and various other improvements to the railway station's capacity, were performed as part of a wider Edinburgh to Glasgow improvement programme, which sought to improve all rail-related matters between the largest cities in Scotland. So we'll get started here at Edinburgh Haymarket with 221132, running 8 minutes late, working the 1817 cross-country service from Plymouth to Aberdeen. And as a pair of 385s disappear in the background, we see the arrival of 17430, working the 1829 Scotrail service from Aberdeen to Edinburgh Waverley. Running 5 minutes late is 17471, working the 1822 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Glenrothes with Forton via Kirkcaldy. Departed on the far side is 334031 and 334012, with the 1828 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Helensburgh Central. Whilst arriving on the near side is 385107 and 385104, with the 1832 Scotrail service from Glasgow Queen Street to Edinburgh Waverley. Next out for departure is 17425, working the 1828 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Glenrothes with Forton via Cowden Beef. Passing through the station is 158739, working 5 Golf 35 from Edinburgh Haymarket Depot to Edinburgh Waverley. Arriving on the far side is 385119, working the 1836 Scotrail service from Glasgow Queen Street to Edinburgh Waverley. Coming around the corner is 385032 and 385001, working the 1843 Scotrail service from Glasgow Central to Edinburgh Waverley. Next in to arrive is 173.95, working the 1845 Scotrail service from Glenrothes with Forton to Edinburgh Waverley. Next for departure is 334035 and 334015, with the 1843 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Helensburgh Central. Running 6 minutes late for LNER is 800.103, with the 1840 LNER service from London King's Cross to Aberdeen. More Hitachi action now in the form of 385040 and 385007, working the 1850 service, Scotrail service from Dunblane to Edinburgh Waverley. Departing on the far side is 385107 and 385104, with the 1850 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Glasgow Queen Street via Falkirk High. And quickly on his heels is 158709 and 158729, with the 1850 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Perth. Running under the head code 5H19 from Edinburgh Haymarket Depot to Edinburgh Waverley is 43003 and 43032. Look at that handsome specimen. And quickly on his heels is 334033 and 334027, with the 1854 Scotrail service from Helensburgh Central to Edinburgh Waverley. Next out to depart is 385119, with the 1853 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Dunblane. Next out is 158739, with the 1854 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Glenrothes with Forton via Cowden Beef. Next in to arrive is 17415 with the 1858 Scotrail service from Arbroath to Edinburgh Waverley. Departed over on the far side is 390153 with the 1852 Avanti West Coast service from Edinburgh Waverley to London Euston. And coming in the opposite direction is 385118 and 385123 with the 1858 Scotrail service from Glasgow Queen Street to Edinburgh Waverley. Taking us by surprise on platform 3 is 334020 and 334005 with the 1857 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Garscadden. Departed over on the far side is 385032 and 385001 with the 1901 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Glasgow Central. Arriving in the opposite direction is 385101 with the 1904 Scotrail service from Glasgow Queen Street to Edinburgh Waverley. Departing on platform 3 is 17395 with the 1904 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Dundee. Passing through the station is 158727, working 5 Lima 04 from Edinburgh Haymarket to Haymarket Depot. Arriving on the far side is 385045 with the 1914 Scotrail service from Alloa to Edinburgh Waverley. Next to depart is 385044 and 385031 with the 1913 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Glasgow Queen Street via Falkirk Grahamston. departed on the near side is 174.07 with the 1916 Scotrail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Kirkcaldy. And here comes our train in the form of 174.04 with the 1919 Scotrail service from Glenrothes with Thornton to Edinburgh Waverley. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed what you saw, click on the 2 videos here at the end screen. Helps out the channel. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you are new and got this far. And we'll see you all in the next video, folks, wherever that may take us. We'll see you then, folks.